Recapping the one and only U.S. Senate debate between Mehmet Oz and John Fetterman, it was action-packed for 60 minutes.
Our Dennis Owen served as co-moderator, and he spoke with two political analysts afterwards.
Thank you, ladies. The first and only debate of this U.S. Senate race. And in fact, I learned tonight Oz and Fetterman had never met each other until they shook hands right before the debate. But let's go to our analysts. We have J.J. Abbott and we have Christopher Nicholas. J.J., you're the Democratic guy. Did Fetterman do what he needed to do?
I think he did. He got Oz to take some really bad answers on the biggest policy questions that are in front of the next senator from Pennsylvania. And that's the most important thing to voters, is how they're going to go and vote in Washington versus how they perform on TV.
What you think, Chris?
I thought Oz really made a human connection with people, talking about his background as a doctor and his family. And quite frankly, Dennis, that was the most painful political debate I've ever watched in my 35 plus years. I think people are going to have trouble getting through Fetterman's health issues to even examine the content of what went back and forth in the debate.
JJ, what do you make of that? Obviously, his health was a big question. He suffered a stroke just before the primary. What did you make of his performance?
I think that he performed well given the circumstances, and I think the most important thing about a senator is what policies they're going to support or not when they go to Washington. Dr. Oz said that abortion decisions should be between a woman, her doctor, and her local legislators, and he refused to support a gun bill supported by local law enforcement and Pat Toomey. I think he made some really big mistakes on the stage on some of the biggest issues in front of voters.
And don't you have to give Fetterman grade him on a curve to a degree, because Mehmet Oz made a career out of television. He knows all about the cameras and how to perform to them.
Well, look, John Fetterman was not a good debater before his stroke. He's not a good debater now. On some of the issues, you had the Lieutenant Governor saying he was for fracking because he was against it. That's like a pretty big issue. You should kind of know where you are. And he's now given 4 contradictory statements on that issue since 2014 to now tonight. So I think if people were looking at some consistency, it was harder to tell with Fetterman just because of his delivery. Kudos to he and his family and his team for agreeing to do this. If nothing else, they got to meet each other, like you said, for the first time after all that money being spent. But I really think the impediment to Fetterman going forward is going to be people just saying, boy, that just looked strange. And I may not know, voters saying, I may not know everything a senator does, but being able to talk consistently and clearly and concisely is one of them. Because let's face it, that's all senators really do, is talk, right? Governors run a state, senators talk a lot.
Okay, and thank you very much. Thank both of you. And I think the key to this debate, the important thing about this debate, is the fact that we've only been seeing negative advertising for a long time. It was the first time, only time, we get to see the two of them side by side discussing the issues. That is the story of the only debate. Ladies, let's send it back to you.
Right, Dennis, thank you so much. And, you know, you can still watch the debate if you missed it, even if you want to watch it again. And see our continuing coverage on ABC27.com or on the ABC27 app. And we'll be right back.